I am super excited about this video today. I recently hit a big milestone. I've made it to 6 months on YouTube, 6 months of creating video. I want to talk a little bit about my journey, what have been some of the highlights. I'm so excited I got started. So we'll talk about the rewards of starting. We'll talk about some of the challenges I've had. This video will be a little bit of a reflection for me, but I also want it to be really helpful for you with lessons that you can apply in your own journey and with some specific tactical things that you can use as well. This is for anyone who's just getting started, or if you're having some challenges along the way in those early days, this is the video for you. So let's jump right in. And we're going to look at some stats about where I am today and where things are on my channel. So let's take a look at those. During the first 6 months, I had a combination of long form videos and shorts. So in total, I had 26 long form videos and I had 13 shorts. At the end of the 6 months, I closed out with 661 subscribers, 802.4 hours of watch time, and 19.8 thousand views. In reflecting about my journey, I've broken it down into a couple of different phases. So the first phase is about those initial uploads and experimentation. When I started this channel, I knew I wanted it to be about versatility, having different skills, talents, interests, and bringing all of my experience to my audience. I didn't want to pick one thing. But I knew I had a strong base as a product leader, so I initially created videos around product management. With those initial videos, I had very low view count. The platform wasn't familiar to me. I didn't have an audience yet, so I had to work my way, had to get my reps in. One of the key things for me was to just be consistent. So get into the habit of creating content, posting the videos, and doing so on a regular basis. During those early days, I was also experimenting with long form content and shorts. I didn't know if I had a preference between shorts or long form, so I tried them both out. I wanted to see how each of them performed and which one would make the most sense for my channel. Or maybe it's a combination of both. I also started to review my analytics. As my audience started to grow, I wanted to get a sense of their preference. Which types of videos did they like? Which ones did they comment on the most? Which ones were the most engaging to them? But in those early days, I didn't have much data. It took a little bit of time before I had enough data through my videos for YouTube to present certain analytics to me on my channel. So as I continued to post and as I did so more frequently, I was able to get a lot more rich data, which helped me make decisions along the way. Here are some of my initial videos. They were largely about product management, coming in with a topic that I was already familiar with, although I would be balancing that with YouTube, which would be new to me. So a mix of new plus some familiarity. And you can see in here, I also experimented with a video that was viral at the time. These videos were about YouTube changing people's lives. And I didn't have the number of videos or the track record or time on my side, so I positioned it as what if YouTube changed my life. The biggest highlight in this early phase was around learning by doing. I came in with content knowledge, but I didn't know much about YouTube, so I had to learn. In addition to learning from other creators, watching videos, I had to learn through my own process. As I created content, as I edited along the way, as I figured out the lighting, as I figured out what worked for me in terms of recording, those are all points that helped me improve my process for the next phase. Phase 2 is about finding your niche and refining your content. We've all heard the advice that on YouTube, you need to find a niche and use that to create your content. But my purpose of this channel was not to niche down just to one thing. It was to explore different topics and really highlight the versatility that we have as humans and how we can move between different topics and add value in different ways. But what I started to notice on my channel was that my audience gravitated to certain content more so than others. Around that time, there was a trending topic and videos being created that encouraged YouTube creators to keep posting. So one of my videos that I posted at the time, which was encouragement to my audience, but also some self-talk to myself, I created one of those videos, and for my channel size at the time, I had a lot of views and it went, by my definition, it went viral. This video continues to gain views today. And it was one of the videos that really taught me the importance of having content that provides value, is along the lines of your own personal interests, but also matches up with what your audience is looking for and the kind of content that resonates with them. In my learnings from this video, I created some additional content that would be helpful for other small creators like myself who were just starting on their journey or who were coming across challenges and needed to find ways of staying motivated. There are a lot of common challenges that small creators experience, and I experience these myself. So things around feeling ready to start, the mental hurdles and challenges of knowing what to post, and the struggles with being consistent. So these are some of my topics that I explored in the videos around this time. I also used this time to experiment a little bit. Phase 2 kicked off with this first video here, which went viral. This was a video titled "You Should Keep Posting on YouTube Even If Nobody Watches," and it was a recap of my first 28 days on YouTube. Because it did so well, I got really good feedback from my audience in terms of what things they're interested in. So I noticed that folks were very interested in just being motivated overall about their YouTube journey. I noticed a lot of small creators gathering in the comments and encouraging each other. And so I used that information to guide me for some of the next videos I created. This next one here is about just getting started, even if you don't know how. I did a recap of the video that went viral. I also had a shorts go viral around the same time. So this recap here covers both of these. This video is about content strategy. I created this as a guide to help others who are just getting started. This one is specifically about motivating small YouTubers. So it includes a number of affirmations in here that can keep them going. And this last one is about content creation in general and normalizing it, making sure that everyone understands that no matter where you're coming from, your background, content creation is relevant to you and the context of your life or things that you enjoy doing. So in addition to product management, in addition to these videos that would be helpful specifically for small creators, I also wanted to start exploring some of the other content I wanted to create on this channel. So I created content around having multiple interests as someone like myself. And again, the reason why this channel is here to promote multi-passionate, multi-talented people who are versatile. I also created some content around travel. This also lined up well because the holiday season was around the corner, and one of those videos was around traveling and seeing the Christmas markets in Europe during that time. I also created some content that would be helpful for my audience as they're navigating their career. In these next few videos, I really wanted to explore some of the additional topics I wanted to cover on this channel. So because this channel is about versatility, I wanted to talk about having multiple interests, which is this first video you see here. When you have multiple interests, one of the challenges is around having enough time. So I created this video around that specifically. And it was also relevant from a content perspective because as we're creating content, we're usually juggling content with everything else that we have going on in our life. As I continued on my YouTube journey, I noticed a pull to create content that was popular, trending, that was going viral. But I also knew I found it important to create content that was quality content. And so this video covers this topic. I had also planned to get into some career content here and guiding folks in their career journeys. This video was about creating your own opportunities to get a job. And because I love to travel, I have a big interest in traveling. I also wanted to create a couple of videos around travel. This was also getting close to the holiday season, and this content was around visiting Munich and Salzburg, Austria around the holiday season with the Christmas market. So I knew it would be very timely to get these videos published by the end of November, early December, so that they would have some time throughout the holiday season for people to view them. The key things for me in this phase was experimenting with my different topics and refining to see exactly where I wanted to focus. And the data that started coming in from my audience was really helpful to help me figure out where they wanted to focus, what was interesting to them, and which type of content provided the most value. At the time, with more videos and more reps under my belt, this phase also helped me figure out my production process. I learned more about my audio. I learned more about how to record my content, and I experimented with recording in different ways. And I continued to learn more about editing and refining my skills there. Phase 3 is about building community and engagement. I can't stress enough how important it is to engage with your audience. As more people started watching my videos and were inspired enough to leave comments, I was really honored. I know everyone is busy, but I really appreciated that the videos and the content resonated with people enough that they would take a few minutes out of their day to leave a comment or even like the video. I love seeing the comments coming in from all different places. One of the things that stood out to me also was how appreciative my audience was when I took the time to also respond back to them. I think a lot of people engage with YouTube videos and leave comments, but they're not necessarily expecting a response back. And I really love that opportunity to have that human connection with my audience and let them know that I truly appreciate their time, and I'm showing that by taking my time to interact with them. My audience included folks who were just getting started on YouTube. It included folks who had been on their journey, but something about a particular video of mine inspired them and motivated them to keep going. I also had folks who were ahead of me who have been doing this for a while and just popping in to show their support. And I really appreciated that as well. Bigger creators looking back and pulling us smaller creators along. At the end of the day, we all need the inspiration, we all need the motivation. And it's great to see that community engagement across the board and with everyone. During this time, I also started to develop a support system with other creators. So some who had started around the same time I did, or some who were already on their journey, and they would pop in on my channel to support, and I would also pop in on their channel whenever I saw that they posted a new video and interacted with the video, commented, liked it, and we kept the conversations going. I also used community posts during this time to share updates and milestones that I was hitting, but also using it as a way to connect with my audience in between videos and keep them motivated, keep them inspired with their own journeys. Community engagement and growing my audience here on YouTube has meant engaging with my audience as much as I can. As I get comments, I try to be responsive and respond to as many of them as I can. I'm so grateful for everyone who takes the time to provide any kind of feedback and let me know how the video resonates with them. And it's been a combination of both folks who are just getting started, some who are a little bit ahead of me, some who are much more established. So I've been learning from them also. Community posts have also been another great way to engage with my audience, sharing some of my milestones as they're happening real time, and also looking for different ways to encourage them, whether that's an affirmation or a quote or something else. Overall, the lesson and takeaways for me during this phase was about how important it is to have an audience. And it doesn't matter if your audience is small when you're just beginning. The important thing is that you're creating value and you're building a loyal, consistent audience that is willing to engage with your content and is excited to come back and support you time and time again because they know that you're continuing to deliver value. In those early phases, it's important to have people who are excited about your content and will engage with it. And that's something that the algorithm is paying attention to. So if YouTube sees that more and more people are engaging with your content and they're doing so consistently, it will continue to push your videos to broader audiences. Phase 4 is about understanding YouTube analytics. YouTube provides you with a ton of data on your audience, your videos, how well they're performing, where are people watching your videos from? How are they watching your videos? Are they doing it from their phone, from a computer? You can also see the demographics of your audience. Are they of a certain age? Are they male? Are they female? And where in the world are they watching your videos from? So over time, as I created more videos, I was able to get a lot more data. And with having that data, I also had to get better at understanding what all the data meant, which ones are the most important, which ones should I keep an eye on consistently, and which are the ones that are less important. There are common metrics like your subscriber count, your watch time, your click-through rate, your audience retention. These are some of the key metrics that you want to be paying attention to as a creator and making sure that you understand them. Because over time you can optimize your metrics and you can use that information to create your next set of content. This highlights how important it is to have data-driven decision as part of your process. It's one thing to create what you like and what you're interested in, but if you're looking to grow an audience here, it's important to understand what your audience is interested in also. And your data can help you answer those questions. Your data can tell you both from a qualitative perspective and also from a quantitative perspective. For example, on the quantitative side, when a video is doing really well, you're having a huge reach with it. You're seeing a lot of views, a lot of watch time being generated from that particular video. Your subscriber count specific to that video is going up. That's a good sign. On the other hand, in terms of qualitative metrics, those are things like the comments that people will leave for you. They will tell you specifically what about the video resonated with them, why they stopped to post a comment, where they are in their journey. Are they struggling with something similar that you're describing in that video? And when you have those comments as a first pass, you can also respond back. You can ask questions, you can interact and dig a little deeper so that you can learn more about your audience. Here we see the overall metrics for the 6-month period. We see 19.8 thousand views, 802.4 hours of watch time, 661 subscribers, and you can see the combination of long form and short form videos that were published. Down here, we can see some of my top performing content. We can see a couple of the long form videos here, and there were a number of shorts. And then these remaining mostly long form videos with this one short in the mix here to round out my top performing content during the first 6 months on YouTube. The key thing about this phase is to get acquainted with the extensive amount of data that YouTube provides as part of the analytics. Understand what the metrics are, which ones are the most important one for you and your channel. Find different ways to leverage them to improve your process. And in the long term, look to see how you may be able to optimize some of those metrics depending on your overall goals. Phase 5 is about dealing with challenges and burnout. Being a creator is not easy. There are common things that we all run into, such as low views, some negative comments sometimes, and even creative burnout. We spend a lot of time thinking, overthinking, trying to figure out what to create content on, and finding the time to do that. I experienced some of this myself. I had a moment in time during this 6 month period where I didn't post content. I didn't post any content for about a month and a half. Life got in the way, things are busy, I had other obligations. There was a lot going on, and I could not hit my normal routine to create content and be consistent. And I had to give myself some grace around that. Between December 1st and January 19th, I didn't publish any videos. So this was a good month and a half of no new videos being published on my channel. So I came back when I finally did after that month and a half period, and I created a video about how I didn't keep posting. And this video resonated really well with my audience. I talked a little bit about even during this time when I took a break, my content on my channel was still doing well. I was still getting engagement. I was still getting new subscribers. So this was an example for me, but also for my audience, that it's okay to pause. The algorithm is there working in the background. And that's one of the great things about YouTube. The algorithm continues to surface your videos, especially when it's quality content. It continues to show those videos to new audiences over time. So during this phase, I learned that it was important to take breaks. I had to give myself what I needed. I can't create from an empty cup. So taking breaks, looking at different ways to stay motivated, and also setting realistic expectations for myself. So many people talk about posting daily or maybe even posting 3 videos per week, but for some of us, that's not realistic. So you determine what being consistent means for you. It doesn't have to mean posting every day, but it can mean posting at a regular cadence, every few days, depending on what you have going on. During this time, I also looked at how can I overcome some of my challenges? How can I overcome some of these blockers? So I created a video specifically around that. What are some of the key things that were keeping me back from creating new content? What were some of the things that were getting in my way and taking time before I actually sat down and started filming a video? I wanted to make sure that going forward, I addressed some of these things as best as I could and made sure that I removed any friction from my process so that I can continue to make videos. I can do this at a consistent pace that I define, and I can do it in a way that is sustainable overall. This video, what happened when I didn't keep posting on YouTube, kicked off this new phase of me posting again after not having posted for that 1 month and a half. And I talked about my challenges in dealing with my lack of consistency and juggling everything, content, life, everything else that comes up in this video. And it resonated really well with my audience. A lot of people were navigating the same thing, dealing with some of the same challenges. And so this was the second long form video on my channel to go viral at my level. After this one, I also went back to my reason why I started on YouTube in the first place. This was a personal story, one that I knew I was carrying with me throughout my entire journey. But at the time, I hadn't told the full story as to what else was going on. So I published this video, and then I also wanted to get back to some of the career content and videos again. I created these 2 videos that were skills and career and AI related. So this first one about job skills becoming outdated in a number of years. And this one, which asked the question, what does the AI boom really mean for humanity at work? And as I was getting back to being consistent with my uploads, I really wanted to focus on the different blockers that were in my way. So this next video here about not being able to upload 3 videos per week, I talk about the things that I am able to do and the different blockers I had at the time and how I was resolving those. Then there was a trend at the time about how many years it took folks to realize what they're going to tell the audience in X number of minutes. So this was my version of that one. And as I continued to be challenged with making videos consistently, finding the time, I was able to create this one while I was at the airport. So this is about how do you create videos in a limited amount of time, including when you're on the go. And then with these last two videos here, I rounded out my 6 months. So this one is about how do you prepare for AI. And this last one was really about community engagement, community appreciation, having community both in real life, but also online as well, and especially here on YouTube. So these were the videos that helped me close out my first 6 months on YouTube. Standing where I am now, 6 months into this YouTube journey, what are some of my biggest takeaways? The first one is to get started. We all struggle with this, but if we don't get started, we can't make progress, we can't achieve our goals, we can't reach larger audiences, we can't help people. So even if that means starting with one tiny video, a 3-minute video, a 4-minute video, just get started. The second thing is to experiment. You won't know everything you need to know on day 1 or even on day 2. And even where I am today, 6 months in, I'm still learning. So try different approaches, experiment with your video recording, try long form, try short form content, see which works for you, try different topics. Next is to lean into feedback. You can get feedback from your audience, you can get feedback from reviewing your YouTube analytics. All of these different sources will help you understand what you're doing well, what's resonating well with the platform, what's resonating with your audience, and how you have some potential room and opportunity to enhance your content over time. Next is community and engagement. Take the time to learn about your audience, engage with them, respond to their comments, make them feel like this is home. This is a place for not just your own growth, but where your audience can come to learn and grow and achieve the things that they aspire to achieve in their lives. When you need a break, take a break. It's as simple as that. There's no reason why we have to continue to push, have unrealistic expectations in terms of what it means to create content and how frequently. Do what makes sense for you. And lastly, have fun. We're doing this because we're interested in doing it. We have information and knowledge that we want to share with the world. And people are there waiting. They want to hear our voice. They want to hear our perspective. They want to hear what we have to say. So have fun with this. Learn as you go. Try new things. Learn more from other creators. Learn about the platform. And be open to new ways to optimize your content creation process. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me in reflecting on my 6-month journey here on YouTube. I really appreciate your time. If this is your first time here, check out another video, like this video, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.